Mark Beelan. I'm here today to present on Google Analytics and to provide some training on a software that internet marketers use every day. It's one of the most popular pieces of software for internet marketers, bloggers, everyone who has an interest in learning about the traffic to a website or a web property for that matter. What I want to do now is just kind of give you a brief introduction to myself and to Google Analytics, and then we'll begin to dive into some definitions and some basics of Google Analytics. Google Analytics is obviously provided by Google. It's free of charge. There is a premium option that would only appeal to a small subset of websites. What Google Analytics will allow you to do is track information about the visitors to your site, how long they've stayed on their site, what source they use to find you, whether or not they converted into a business lead or a sale, and calculate some sort of a return on investment for you. Google Analytics actually also works on mobile applications and even on gaming consoles. For our purposes, we'll probably focus primarily on website traffic and how we can use Google Analytics to make decisions as a business. Through Google Analytics, business owners, marketers, bloggers, anyone who's interested, as I said, in learning about the traffic to a website is empowered with data. And that data allows them to make key business decisions, and it allows them to get a better return on investment for their marketing dollars. Installation of Google Analytics is easy. We will go over it. And as I said, the service is free for almost all subscribers. My name is Mark Beelan. I'm the managing director of Evolving Interactive, a search marketing firm in Chicago with an office in Las Vegas. We are a certified Google partner, and we use Google Analytics on a daily basis to help our clients. I'm going to try and provide some information and some tips that I would use to help you learn more about Google Analytics to empower your website. I wanted to start with a question. Why do you need analytics? Why is this important? I found a quote. It says, without data, it's just an opinion. Or to paraphrase, sometimes people would say, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. We need data as business owners, as marketers. We need to collect it. We need to analyze it. And we need to make decisions about how we're going to spend our dollars based on that data. Google Analytics empowers businesses to do that. With that data, key decision makers can get in a room, look at how advertising dollars are being spent, and make wise decisions on how they want to move forward. In Google Analytics, as it's progressed throughout time, you're now able to measure the effectiveness of virtually all your internet marketing activities in one interface. Will ensure that KPIs are being tracked and a return on investment is measured. These are important terms, and I want to go through these with you a little bit. Let's go over some basic definitions that will help us along the way. First, we're going to talk about in the interface itself, we'll be looking at dimensions and metrics. I'll dive into this a little bit more, and perhaps we'll actually go into, it would be best to go into Google Analytics so we can look at this. Simply put, dimensions are characteristics of the visitors to your site and their behavior. Metrics are numerical measurements that help define user behavior. They're numbers. Another definition I want to go over with you is a conversion. A conversion is what we are, as marketers, dying for. We want to have as many conversions as we can at as high a rate as we possibly can. A conversion is a measurement of when a visitor to your site reaches a desired outcome, such as an online purchase or a submission for a contact form. Another term that I want to go over with you is attribution. You're going to be doing a lot of different internet marketing activities. When you get a sale, when you make a conversion, who gets the credit? What was it, your paid search? Was it your social media? Was it direct traffic? We'll go over that a little bit more and how it's decided. The next thing I want to talk to you about is data segmentation. One of the things that I want to address with you a lot is Google Analytics has got so much data, we want to avoid data overload. So having so much data that we can't see the forest from the trees. Data segmentation allows you to divide these large data sets into smaller groups for closer analysis. So if I wanted to see just how my non-paid search traffic was doing, Google Analytics will allow me to do that, and we'll dive into how that happens in just a moment. And finally, one of the most common marketing terms of all is key performance indicators, or KPIs. What we want to know is, how are we going to evaluate the success or a failure of a marketing campaign? What sort of metrics are we going to use to determine that? We'll talk about how KPIs are determined at the outset, how they're measured, and how Google Analytics can help you track these. First, I want to talk to you about dimensions and metrics. We'll be talking about these throughout the process, and I've given you some examples of dimensions and metrics. A very basic rule of thumb might be that dimensions are questions that can be answered with words. What country did your visit come from? What kind of visitor type was it? What sort of browser did they use? What was the traffic source? And the answers to those questions are going to be words like the United States or Canada, a new visitor or a returning visitor. Metrics are usually questions that are answered with numbers. For instance, percent of new visits, pages per visit, e-commerce conversion rate, revenue, or how many visits in general. These are questions that are answered with numbers.